How's it going, guys? Shape here, and welcome to the channel. This video is going to cover another method to make 30 to 40,000 gold per hour or more with the Cobra Scales farming method. This is the time in the expansion where we tend to see an increase in sales for some transmog items. I did this farm a while ago pretty consistently and had some really good results, so I decided to give it a go again since most traditional gold farms right now aren't producing as they used to as we approach the end of the expansion. I don't think this one is too well known, and depending on if you have a leatherworking character as well, this can be even more gold for you per hour. So with that said, let's hop into it and find out how to do this farm. Be sure to turn on your notifications, make sure you have that bell rung, and drop a like so you don't miss any of my future content. If you have any questions, drop a comment or tweet at me. A couple things I wanted to go over before we start this farm is you're going to want to make sure you have a skinning character with outland skinning unlocked. If you don't unlock outland skinning, then you won't get anything to drop from the mobs we're going to target. For those who don't have outland skinning on your skinning character, you can learn this from Seymour in Shadowwrath City since we're going to be in the outlands for this farm. If you also have a leatherworking character, then this is where you can really increase your gold per hour quite a lot. There are quite a few different patterns you can get that the Cobra Scales go with, but if you haven't obtained them before, it might take you some time to get them. The items that sell the most frequently are the Cobra Scale gloves, Cobra Scale hood, styling adventurer's hat, styling crimson hat, styling jungle hat, and the styling purple hat. The Cobra Scale gloves and hood are world drops and can drop from any higher leveled mob in Outlands. The styling adventure hat is dropped in the Escape from Durnhill dungeon that is located in the Caverns of Time from Durnhill Rifleman and Don Carlos. The styling crimson hat is dropped from the Sethic halls by the Sethic Raven Guard. Styling jungle hat is dropped in the Black Morass by Rift Keepers and Rift Lord. And finally, the style purple hat is dropped in the Shadow Labyrinth by the Blackheart the Inciter. All of these patterns are pretty rare to come by and have drop chances from 2% to 0.5%, so good luck on farming those out. If you have managed to get these patterns, then the gold per hour is going to be increased if you choose to craft these items. The gloves and the hood each sell for around 30,000 gold on my server, and I had seen them as high as 50,000 gold on some other servers. The styling hats vary in price and usually go from anywhere around 6,000 to 15,000 gold depending on the hat. The styling adventure and crimson hats tend to be the best and most expensive of the bunch, so keep that in mind when crafting these items. Now, since these are all transmog items, they follow all transmog timelines as well. Don't expect to sell these overnight and make some quick gold. They will take some time to sell in the auction house, but they will eventually sell, so just keep on your posts. Since we have gotten all the items you can make out of the way and make sure that you have had the necessary professions to do this farm, I wanted to now talk about where you're actually going to do the farm. As I said earlier in the video, we are going to be in the Outlands and specifically in the Twilight Ridge that is located in the Grand. There are two locations that are marked on the map here that we are going to be using to farm the Cobra Scales. You're going to want to target the Twilight Serpents while doing this farm. You are also going to get a decent amount of Nothhide leather as well. You want to make sure that you are killing all the Twilight Serpents in these locations to make sure they start to hyperspawn. If you don't kill them all in the area, then they will not spawn as fast as they can, and you might have an impact on your gold per hour. Once you are done with one side of the mountain, just go over to the other side to keep on farming. You should never run out of Twilight Serpents to kill if you are doing this method correctly. This used to be a pretty popular spot a long time ago, but when I am out here I really never see anyone actually doing this farm with me. Obviously, once people see this video, you might see more people doing this, but from my experience, people lose interest within a week or so you can just pick it back up then. Since this is focused around a transmog item, it will be even harder to sell, which will make more people lose interest even faster. You definitely don't need to have the leatherworking patterns to make gold with this, and that is why I didn't say the actual gold per hour in the video title just because of that. You can make a really good gold per hour with just selling the materials themselves. For those that have the patterns and don't want to farm out the Cobra Scales, then they will buy the materials off the auction house and still make a very good profit from the transmog items. So in the end, everybody wins, and if you do the farm and the transmog sells, you profit from all of it. I always do the farm 10 times each in preparation for my videos to give you guys the most consistent per hour metrics on what you can expect to get from your farms. So for an hour of doing this farm, I averaged around 45 Cobra Scales and 300 Nothhide leather. Right now the cobra scales are going for 850 gold per, and the knot-tied leather is going for a little over 1 gold per on my server. If you turn the knot-tied leather into heavy knot-tied leather with your leatherworking character, then those will be going around 50 gold per on my server. Once all of those sell, that will be over 40,000 gold per hour in just materials. Now if you have the patterns we discussed earlier in the video, then this is where you can make a lot more gold from this. Let's say you want to make one of each of the items to diversify the items you have on the auction house. To create the cobra scale hood, it requires 10 cobra scales and 6 heavy knot-tied leather. To create the cobra scale gloves, it requires 8 cobra scales and 4 knot-tied leather. To create any of the styling hats, it requires 2 cobra scales and 6 heavy knot-tied leather. Keep in mind they do require other materials to craft, but let's just stick to what we have farmed and assume you have the rest of those materials. In total, that is 26 cobra scales and 34 heavy knot-tied leather needed to craft all those items. You will have enough materials in 1 hour of farming to almost craft each item twice. As I stated earlier, the gloves and the hood sell for around 30,000 gold each, and the styling hats range from 6,000 to 15,000 gold. On the low end, that's 66,000 gold, and on the high end, that's 75,000 gold for selling one of each item. Remember, you will only use a little over half of your materials, so you could almost double the profit in the end. Since these aren't going to sell overnight in most cases, you can keep one of each on the auction house to diversify your auction house postings, and keep this one in your back pocket for slow selling transmog items to have on the auction house. Even if you just sell the materials to the auction house and not mess with the transmog, you're still going to walk away with a very good gold per hour off of this farm. Well, there you have it guys, another method on how to make 30 to 40,000 gold per hour using the cobra scale farming method. I hope you guys enjoyed, and don't forget to let me know any other gold farms you are currently doing that are successful. Please drop a like if you enjoyed the video to show some love for the channel, and I'll catch you guys next time.